Hi, my name is Kevin Thomas, W1DED, and this is Q5 World Wide Ham Radio. Today I've asked Randy Thompson K5ZD to host a conversation about the recent CQ World Wide RTTY contest, where strong conditions across every band led to some remarkable performances. Among those early standouts is IP4X, operated by Gabry IT9RGY, showing over 3,100 QSOs. Close behind, SO9I, operated by Shremik SQ9ORQ, turned in another impressive total, continuing his run as one of Poland's most consistent RTTY operators. And of course, our own Randy Thompson K5ZD, operating from his new station in Ohio, posted a score that currently ranks among the top 3. To dig into what made this RTTY weekend so special, the propagation, the setups, and the stories behind the numbers, I'm turning things over to Randy, who will take it from here. But first, Q5 is proudly brought to you by ICOM, delivering high-performance transceivers for every passion in the amateur radio world. Randy, it's all yours.
Hello and welcome to Q5 Ham Radio. I'm Randy K5ZD and I'm joined today by Shremik SQ9ORQ and by Gabrielle IT9RGY. And it looks like, according to the high claim score or the raw scores, that we're the top 3 single ops in the recent CQ World Wide RTTY contest for a single op all band high power. So welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, nice to be here, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
So let's start, Gabrielle, with you. You were the operator at Italy Papa 4 X-Ray, and you wrote a very nice story on the 3830 about your contest and kind of some of the emotion around it. Why don't you introduce us to what you did?
Yeah, so it's, I mean, every year I really try to do my best for this worldwide RTTY effort. So, as some of you know, guys, I don't live in Italy anymore, so I have to travel to Italy. And luckily, the team at India Papa 4 X-Ray, they let me to use the station. And it's always pretty challenging to rearrange the station from a multi-op environment to a single-op environment. And yeah, basically I spent almost a week. So I had other duties in the meantime, and yeah, in the end it was tough, but yeah, much needed, and the contest was just amazing. Were you thinking something specific, Randy?
Well, I just you had talked about your friend IK1SPR and being on your mind when the contest started, and
yeah, I didn't mention this, but it was emotionally touching week, let's say. So our friend Flavio IK1SPR, a very known contester and really fellow friends of all of us, he passed away the Sunday before the contest, so the week before. So I mean, by really chance, I was able to say goodbye last time. Since I was in Italy for the contest, right? And yeah, it was a challenging week for all of this, but it was good to let's say dedicate this contest to Flavio, and I really thought about him a lot. And yeah, in the end, the target also for this reason was the Italian record. Because, you know, sooner or later someone will read about that contest, that someone will see that there is that record, right? So in some way Flavio will be connected to this result, and I liked this.
yeah, very good. So Shremik, tell us about, you were at SO9I. Is that your station, or are you using someone else's station?
Yeah, this is my station. My last station was 1 kilometer away from actual position, but the last location was very small, and I don't have a place for next tower for bigger antenna. So I bought a new property around 20,000 square meter. In this moment, I have one big tower and one vertical. And in this moment, I make every contest from this site.
Now, I saw a picture, and it looked like you have not just a single tower. They're big antennas on there, big quads.
Yeah, I think that we don't have any more place for more antenna on this tower. In this moment, on the top of this tower, 35 meters, we have one bigger quad, 6/6 element to 15 and 10 meter, and 4 element for 20 meter. Between this antenna is 3 element full size Yagi direction to United States. And in this moment, on the bottom of this antenna, I have a new tri-band antenna, which on one boom have two direction using the same reflectors. So this is new type of antenna, and it work in direction of Papa Yankee and JA. Especially in this contest, it was important because I use diversity mode in a flex radio. So main receiver was focused on cubical quad for west direction or east direction in the morning. And when United States was open, so both cubical quad was direction to you, Randy, and new tribander listen on a second and third receiver to Papa Yankee and to JA.
Is this a new station? When did you? How many years have you been at this new location?
Probably 2 years ago, because in 2022 I not working in CQ WW because I don't have any antenna, any tower, so this why it was 1 year stop. And from last year, I start in the contest, and on the start I have a lot of problem with cable, with switching system. And at this moment, I improve everything of that. And in this moment, the station is totally automatic. I have full flexibility of antenna to every amplifier, to every radio, everything what you can imagine.
Well, I'm 1 year behind you, I guess, because for me, I just built the station this summer and really only finished few weeks before the contest, so I wasn't sure what would work and what wouldn't work. So when I started the contest, it was less about trying to win and more about just seeing what antennas would work, and it came out pretty well. So I have two towers with the 40 meter Moxon, a couple of 5 element 20s, and then a large tri-bander. And so I was fine on the low bands and on 20, but when I got to 10 and 15, I only had one antenna. And so that made it really hard to do two radios at the same time. So talk to me about preparing for the contest. So to get ready, Gabrielle, what you said it took a week to reorganize everything, I can imagine, but what was your preparation the day of the contest?
Well, so I really try to sleep, and actually I do that. Everything I do during that week is to free myself on Friday afternoon, because for us the contest starts Friday night, right? And since I've been there already once with the very heavy sleep deprivation issues, then for me there is only one rule: everything happens Friday afternoon. Yeah, so this is what I do. So once I have everything done in terms of antennas, and actually it's just having the antenna dipole. Once the antennas, so the 80-meter dipoles are okay, and yeah, I didn't do anything else outside. I just prepared everything regarding the radios. I had the 3 stations to limit really as much as possible errors on changing bands, and also to try to improve the multiplier counts. And yeah, so then I really prepared a small portion of food, and yeah, I just went to sleep, and then I was ready to fight.
So what time does the contest start in CET? What's the local time?
Local time is 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, wow. That explains why we don't hear so many Europeans for the first few hours. What does your preparation look like on Friday, getting ready?
My preparation started 1 week before the contest. because I live 200 kilometers from my station. I live normally in Wrocław, Poland. So I come on the station on Friday, and I update my automatic system, my switching system. I install new stack matches because in this moment I have separated stack match for every band with 2 input and 4 output. So it was a main part for this contest. Later, I fix every antenna because I was on my station 3 months ago. So nextly come to me Darek SP2R, and we built this new tribander. It was in Tuesday and Thursday, and in Friday we start build receiving system. For this year, I prepare K9AY. This will be RI 54 and 27 meter. This K9 Alpha Yankee will be in rectangle system, 54 meter long and 27 meter wide. And every loop will be 35 meter. So this will be taller and longer, especially for 160 meter. So in this moment, every loop are prepared, but cable and switching system is not ready. I tested this antenna in this contest. It looks very well. So we will see. But after this week, I was very tired. I don't have energy for everything, and I come back to my house at Friday around 4 p.m. And I would like go to sleep, but in my organize was a lot of adrenaline, and I can sleep. I go to bed. I spent 5 hours in my bed and totally no sleep. So I start a contest punctually. First day was very difficult for me because I don't have energy. My eye still closed. So in a midnight, I decide to go for a bet for 1 hour. After this hour, I didn't woke up, and I woke up after 5 hours. So that's why I lost a lot of multiplayer on 80, on 40, and that's why Italian station won this contest.
Yeah, but I think Shremik really, all of us and a lot of people watching this video, I think everyone knows. I mean, who really push for contest for all the 48 hours? I think all of us have been there, and sooner or later will happen to everyone that you put the alarm and you just switch off 4 or 5 alarms in a row, or you have sleep deprivation issues like you don't see anything anymore. So I've been there like 6 years ago, and since then I add a few tricks to avoid the issues. But yeah, in the end, it may happen anyway.
Yeah, I think the lesson that you take away, everyone has done this once, and you learn a lesson that yes, you really do need to rest before the contest, because it's just it's hard enough to do it without starting being tired. So so you lost 5 hours on the second night? Is that?
Yeah, I lost 5 hours in a second night. I go to sleep around midnight UTC, and I woke up around 5 o'clock UTC. So I lost whole night. That's that's connected with a multiplayer on 80. My 80-meter system is not enough in this moment. I have only one vertical 27 meters, so my signal in United States is not very well. So that's why my multiplayer is very lost.
Well, the low bands, 80 meters is difficult on RTTY as it is, just because the signal levels are so low and the QRM is so high. Since I wasn't sure that I was very serious in the contest, I slept 2 hours the first night, and then the second night, when things slowed down, I slept 5 more hours. So actually, not quite as serious as you guys were, but I've learned over time that it's better to get the 1 or 2 hours sleep than it is to try to push through. You just don't make enough. Thinking clearly is more important than making a few points in the middle of the night. But it took me a long time to learn that and to get old enough that I didn't have any choice. For me, I think the amazing thing was just conditions. The propagation seemed to be fantastic, especially on the high bands. And what I remember more than anything was how good 10 meters was and how late at night. What did it sound like in Europe? Was it a surprise to you for 10 to be open so late? And Gabrielle, you can go first.
Yeah, actually, I monitored this every day that week I was at the station, and also with a couple of friends, setting up everything. And till, let's say, midnight local time, we were still hearing East Coast. And yeah, I knew that band would be kind of money band, right? I've done almost 700 QSOs on 10 meter, and yeah, it was a blast. To be honest, it was a blast because since the morning, Japanese were pretty strong. Maybe they were not really too many in terms of number. I'm pretty, let's say, young, and a lot of people used to say, yeah, in the past, 10 and 50 meter were full of Japanese for hours. I didn't experience this, unfortunately. But anyway, it was great, and I also expected that in the morning I wouldn't get many callers from the X. That's why I actually entered in the band a little bit later than the band opening. I pushed a little bit more the low band the first day on purpose, to get all the multipliers from Europe, because that's the point. That at the end of the contest, you figure it out that you meet, I don't know, Lima Yankee on 40 or 80, and so on purpose, I stayed there a little bit longer. But then from like midday to really until the last station from US was in the band on 10 and 15 meter, I was there all the time, and it was amazing.
So Shremik, how about for you? I guess with your new antenna pointing to JA and PY, you were probably on 10 meters right from the start.
Yeah, this new antenna was especially great on 15 meters when United States opened, and still JA coming to my station. In this moment, both my cubical quad was direction to US, and this bottom tribander was direction to JA. That was excellent position when you use diversity mode. So you decode two separate signal on two separate receiver, everything clear in one window. That's perfect. But coming back to 10 meter, I think that Saturday was better on 10 meter, especially for United States. For East, 10 meter from Poland was not enough. Because for 1 hour I made maybe 20, maybe 30 Qs, so that's totally not enough to beat a record. But But when propagation for United States was open, in this moment, I was still here to 6 p.m. UTC. So that was great. 15 meters and 10 meters were still working. At the Sunday, propagation was not the same good as in Sunday. No, I changed Saturday and Sunday.
I would say we saw the same thing here. What to me was the bands were fantastic on Saturday, just amazing. And then on Sunday morning they were okay. Like it was still really good, but it wasn't great like it was on Saturday. And then what was amazing was the Europeans just kept staying in, being very loud. I worked some UA3 stations at 4 hours after their sunset on 10 meters on Sunday. And then I'm hearing Europeans, and I start hearing JAs at JA Sunrise. And I only had one antenna, so I had to turn it to Japan, and it was amazing how good the signals were. So I think the band actually recovered and was getting better at the end of the contest because the European signals on 20 were also incredible. But there was just a little bit of a low place kind of in 06 to, or not 06, but like 08 to 1200 or to 1600 or something GMT on Sunday morning that made it feel like it was bad when actually it was still really good compared to what it'll be 3 years from now. So I have a complete.
Yeah, just a question. Do you use the diversity mode as well? So do you have more decoders?
Yes, did want to ask about that. I just am using K3s, so just a single receiver, and then I'm using two decoders. I have two-tone and MMTTY. They're running at the same time on both radios, and it's amazing how often one of them is perfect copy and the other one doesn't copy anything. So sometimes it seems like people aren't able to copy very well, and I suspect that they're running single decoders or not a very good one. What about Gabrielle? What's your setup?
Yeah. Actually, I'm asking that because I want to give credit to a common friend, Sierra November 7 Quebec. So I visited him, Chris. Chris is really a legend in Europe. I mean, he is really a legend. Przemek knows him very well. And I was there like 2 years ago, and he explained me that he was using this the diversity system. So when you have more than one direction, you can assign the sub receiver to the second direction, let's say. So you transmit on both directions, and then you have BFOA to, for example, US, BFOB to JA. And so I tried to fit this into the multi-op station setup with the K3 as well, and it worked very well. And so for about 2 years, I'm now using this setup as well. So I have one MMTTY and one two-tone for each BFO. And in the middle of the day, this is really like rock and roll because you have both JA and US, especially on 15 and 20 meter at the same time. And otherwise, not only you lose one side, but you are slower on answering because if you have a Japanese and a US station coming more or less with the same timing, the receiver just gets noisy basically. So you don't read anything basically. So thanks to Chris SN7Q that opened my eyes with this setup.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it because that's news to me. I've never even thought about doing that before. So I have the second receiver in both radios. Something new to try.
Chris is my mentor. That's why I have cubical quads, not Yagi. But connection to diversity mode and to a lot of decoder on one receiver, I use one MMTTY and I use 3 two-tone. Two-tone have 3 different configuration: selective, flutter, and something like that.
Flutter,
And on every configuration was totally different decoding.
Really? So I hadn't even thought about trying to run two-tone in multiple modes. I don't ever really see much difference between between selective or flat or flutter. It always seems to copy about the same. But you're saying there's a difference.
I think that the most important difference is when a few stations calling to us. In this moment, one decoder decode one station and second decoder second station. In this moment, we can make queues one by one. And normally we have only one call, maybe not full call in this moment when we use only one decoder. MTTY is the worst decoder of these three. I think. So next contest I will use only two-tone.
So how many computer screens do you have to have all these decoders up on the screen at one time?
Only three, but connected with this decoder in N1 you have only one window with a split for 3 or 5 parts. That's totally comfortable.
Well, Gabrielle, what software are you using?
Yeah, I used the QAR test. It's a software made by Paolo IK3 QAR. I think most of Italians we use it. I use for RTTY only this software. It's super easy. Never had an issue with that. And in the end, for this single op 2 or 3 radio, I don't need to have all the synchronized stuff by the computer. I have the interlock, of course, by both hardware or software, but I do everything by hand because in the end, I still have free space in my brain to move the hands in a timely matter.
So I hate to say, I'm the same. I'm still typing all the calls in. I don't use the mouse at all for all this RTTY. What are you using for decoders?
Both MTTY and two-tone.
So
Yeah, I mean,
now
for me are kind of complementary. So I can't say that MTTY is the worst one. Time to time I change especially the two-tone setup, but as well I didn't really feel much of difference changing the setup. But who knows?
Okay, so now I want to go to something completely different. What is something that people do in RTTY that makes you that you don't like, that makes you crazy?
Don't answering my calls.
Well, let's assume they're transmitting. They're calling you.
No, I mean recently I've noted that I don't know if it's for the FT8 topic, which is a sensitive topic, but I really received many times the report and after the call sign, but in a way that sometimes I had to ask, what's your call? Because I was just getting, I don't know, 599 2525, let's say, and the guy was not saying the call sign, or maybe he was not really understanding the way I was doing managing the QSO. So I answer your call with your core and the zone. I don't say thank you immediately, right? I need you to answer in some way. So I think this was this year, I think better than last year, actually.
Yeah, but I did have the same thing. I had a number of stations send me everything on the first transmission, and then I would respond with everything, and then they would send it all again. So I couldn't figure out what was going on there. What about for you, Shremik? Is there anything that people are doing that you find?
Yeah, I first time use AFSK because every time I use FSK on YESO, this time Flex use only audio FSK, so I a little bit scared about it. I'm not sure how it work, if this work really good. And when I go for a multiplayer, I choose ASU because I think that it was easier to call to every multiplayer. I don't know why.
I didn't understand that. So you're using AFSK, what was it about multipliers?
No, I use multiplayer only FSK.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Only using FSK on Flex Radio. It was easier because we have a fan adapter. We know where is every station, but when I call it, I'm not sure that the station decoding me very well.
Yeah. Yeah, I used AFSK for everything. It just seems to work better. I think I had my gain turned up too high, so I was having a lot of people having trouble copying me, and I think I just was over. I hadn't noticed that the I had the gain up so high that the ALC was fully pegged. But one of the things that I find I don't understand is people feel like they need to send their call 3 or 4 or 5 times when they call. And they always send my call first. So it's like K5ZD, DE, and then their call, their call, their call. It's like, okay, to start with, I don't need to hear my call again. I know you're calling me. And really, I spent the whole weekend, I don't think I ever sent more than DE, K5ZD, K5ZD. I never sent my call more than twice. And then I would listen. And sometimes you might hear a space, and then I might send my call one more time. But I don't. It would seem like the louder a station was, the more times they would send their call.
I don't know actually if in N1MM the standard message like F4 says like his call, then my call. If it's like that, then it's the issue. I I don't like this approach as well because I know my call sign, and I don't even put the DE. I just have the twice my call. That's it. And to be honest, when I have to call somebody that is strong enough, for example with you, Randy, I just type like once IP4X and you pick me immediately. So.
Yeah, if you're loud, you can do that. But you're right. I'm sure it's the standard messages that make people think this is the way. But it just wastes a lot of time of sending the call sign of the station you're calling. And oftentimes, I'll have the guy. My call will print perfectly, and then all the 3 other guys start calling, and then they copy nothing. If they just sent their call, you would copy it right away.
Yeah, but on the
Anyway,
other hand, it happened, I think, twice or 3 times. There was probably another station on my frequency, station that I didn't notice at all, and some people was using this standard message probably, so they were calling me not with my call sign, and there I thought, okay, maybe I should change my frequency, not to get the not in log. And I'm pretty sensitive, to this to be clean as much as I can. So in the end, it helped me to change the frequency because probably it was not good.
yeah, I would notice. Well, when I call somebody, I'm just sending my call. DE is just habit from many years ago. I've been doing this longer than you guys, back when that was important. But when I work somebody, then I send their call, the report, and then my call at the end because I want it to be very clear who I'm working, and then I want them to know, get one more look at my call to make sure they have it right. Because it's surprising when you look at the log checking reports where people have sent, or you'll work somebody and you're not sure if they have your call correct because it didn't print correctly on my side. So that's one of the things that makes RTTY a challenge, is knowing if the guy really copied the call correctly and you're just misprinting, or did he actually get the call wrong? And then sometimes to correct it is not so easy as well. So how much, Shremik, how much of the contest were you calling CQ on 2 bands?
I think that it was around 40 hours of 42 hours of my working. I still working on 2 band. When I'm not on 2 CQ, so I still on 2 band, search at pounds and CQ on the second radio. Sometimes I go to the third band to look for some multiplayer because I use 3 different radio. This third radio was connected only for 40-meter band because I don't have enough switching system yet. So that's why I have a really good multiplayer on 40. But when the switching system will be completely finished, I think that my multiplayer can increase a lot of.
It will be harder for us.
Did you listen a third radio or not? Or only look for a monitor?
No, I also listen. Yeah, actually, it's pretty. Yeah, I use basically one handset for the first radio. Then I have, the earphones just plugged into the like the other ear for the second radio, and then I put the volume super loud on the third radio. So the result is that if on Monday usually you are still, with the noise on your mind, the noise in my mind goes around for 2 days because I'm completely full of this noise. But yeah, in the end, I mean, I don't have any audio switching, if that's the answer, the question.
In worldwide RTTY, it's different than the other than CW and SSB because we have the U.S. states as the multiplier. How is that a factor in your strategy? How does that change the way you think about the contest?
It's a good question. And the answer from my side is that it doesn't affect my strategy at all. Because on upper bands, I know that I would do all the states that are there anyway. And to be honest, I tried many times, even this year, to move multipliers. I don't know for Przemek or for you, Randy, if this worked out. In my case, I think I've tried 15 different QSYs. Nothing appeared there. I don't know if the guys they didn't show up, they didn't understand. I have no. I even got to printing like okay. So for me, okay, it means that you will go to the other band, but no one of my QSY worked out. So in the end, no, I don't look too much on this multiplier count in terms of states.
Yeah, so I think then on 20, 15, and 10, it's totally no problem with United States and to make every possible state. But the problem for me is especially on 80 meter. On 40, I have three-element Yagi direction to United States only for this direction. So if I spend all of the night on 40, so I will have everything what I need. But on 80, I don't have a good receiving system. So sometimes station from US hurt me, and I can recognize this call because I don't have good receiving system. I hope that this year will be different, and this K9 Alpha Yankee array helped me with this multiplier and will be better. We will see.
Well, I have to say from my side, I like it because it gives a lot of motivation to the Europeans and the Asians to work USA stations. So even though Ohio is not a rare multiplier at all, I just felt like I had people calling me because they needed to work the multiplier. So it just felt different than the CW and SSB contest.
Randy,
So I think we're
people
about
call
at,
you because you are loud in Europe.
well, that's always nice
why
too.
people- in the-
Not as loud now as I was in Massachusetts, but it's okay. So just since we're about to run out of time, I guess I'll ask each of you if you have any last comments or thoughts about the contest, something that was memorable or that you'd just like to mention. Shremik, you want to go first?
We're talking about this contest.
Yes.
Yeah, so from this contest, the most important part was this 5 hour in my bed. When I woke up, my eyes was totally big. I don't need a coffee, so that is a part which I memorize.
Yeah, but you felt better afterwards, I guess.
Yeah.
At least physically, maybe not mentally. Gabrielle, how about you?
Yeah, for me, the highlight, I mean, it can be a really small thing, but being called from Kilo Lima 7 on 10 meter in my morning, while the antenna was on the JA side, so the signal was, through North Pole. For me, it's something fascinating. I mean, it's about the radio waves and this signal coming from Zone One. For me, it's amazing. So, beside all the emotions that from my side are equal to worldwide ITSB or CW, those small things really made my day, my contest overall.
I really like the Worldwide RTTY contest. It's just interesting. I like working people and working DX, and there's lots of it. It's always disappointing to me when I tune past the FT8 band and it's completely packed with signals, and you realize all those people who can do FT8 have everything they need to do RTTY. They just have to go try different software and do something a little bit differently. So I keep hoping someday they'll get tired of FT and maybe move over to doing one of the RTTY contests, because we're not seeing quite as much activity as we saw some years ago. Anyway, I want to thank both of you for joining today and kind of reliving the worldwide. I thought since we all had top scores and we were from different parts of the world, it might be interesting to just see how our experiences were different. So Shremik, thank you. Gabrielle, thank you. And this has been Q5 Ham Radio. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Kevin.